This episode of the Managing Madrid Podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp. If you think you might be feeling depressed, stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed, BetterHelp is here to help. BetterHelp offers licensed therapists who are trained to listen and help you, and you can talk to your therapist in a private online environment at your convenience. There's a broad range of expertise in BetterHelp's 20,000 plus therapist network that gives you access to help that may not be available in your area. And all you have to do is just fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs, and then you get matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Then you schedule secure video and phone sessions, plus you can exchange unlimited messages, and everything you share is completely confidential. You can request a new therapist at no additional charge at any time. Join the 2 million plus people who have taken charge of their mental health with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. Special offer to Managing Madrid Podcast listeners. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/managingmadrid. That's betterhelp.com/managingmadrid. Thanks again to BetterHelp for sponsoring the Managing Madrid Podcast.
Nice article in the Managing Madrid blog. Wonderful lads that do a great job there. And worth reading about that man there. Karim Benzema needs to rest, and the numbers reveal why.
Times ended up almost looking like a 6-3-1. Some very good writing about that on the Managing Madrid website. First-rate podcast as well. Of course, Fede Valverde was a huge part of the equation.
Welcome to the Daily Drop, a 5 to 10 minute segment of the Managing Madrid Podcast designed to give you content that's quick hitting and into your podcast app on days we do not have podcasts planned. And today is one of those days, and I am prematurely proud of myself because I think I'm going to actually keep it to 5 to 10 minutes this time. We'll see how it goes, but definitely will not be anywhere close to the 17 minute mark that I hit last Daily Drop. Part of the reason today is going to be short is because there isn't much to talk about. Although, look, if you go on managingmadrid.com, there is so much exclusive content that you won't get on any other Real Madrid website. No Spanish tabloid, nothing. Exclusive, analysis, hard-hitting, tactical, op-eds, editorials, videos. There's just so much that Managing Madrid is churning out. Super proud of us. We are not a news aggregator, although you will find every single bit of Real Madrid news on our website. We are basically like weird comparison, but Netflix. We're just producing our own content. We're putting the budget into getting great quality writers who put out exclusive content. So right now on the website, you will see Arvin's analysis on Real Madrid Femenino's management, and obviously that's been under the radar over the past 24 hours. And really, if you've been paying attention for a long time now, but after Asllani's quotes yesterday, lambasting Real Madrid Femenino's unhealthy work environment. So Arvin put out a long article on that this morning. Sam Leverage continues to put out great content. 5 goals for Rodrigo to hit next season. That's up on the website. Sam Sharp's annual Real Madrid Castilla season review. That's up on the website. He puts a lot of work into those, so please go and read that. School of Real Madrid, a new video, How Rudiger Fits at Real Madrid, written and narrated by myself, but more importantly, produced by the unbelievably great Miguel Castillo, who makes our kind of otherwise maybe boring videos look like absolutely masterpieces that James Cameron would probably buy and put in Avatar. So go and check that out. That's on managingmadrid.com. Ticket information for our podcast in Vegas and San Francisco. If you're coming out to watch the Clásico in Vegas, or you're going to the game against Club America in San Fran, you can get tickets to come see us. They're pretty cheap, especially now because early bird tickets are still up until July 1st. So make sure to book your spot in Vegas and San Fran and come to those podcasts. That's on the website, and a ton more of content. So the reason I'm reading an excerpt from my book today is because, again, it's kind of slow. There's not much to talk about other than all the stuff I mentioned on the website. And I chose a segment of my book which goes back from 2007, 2008, that season. And the reason I was reminded to do that of all years to choose from, and this is part of a chapter in my book, which is called Fast Forward. It goes from 1902 to present day, basically year to year, updates you, crash course on what you need to know about every single year that happened. It's a lot of work, and now you can kind of get a little bit of a pin-sized hole and a glimpse of an idea of why it's taking so long for my book to come out. So this one I chose 2007-2008 because Matt Wiltsey wrote about Ivan Helguera recently, and I was reminded about that because this is the year Helguera leaves. And also, it's been Pepe week. We've been speaking a lot about Pepe. Jose and I did that Pepe podcast. Jose wrote the Pepe article, and we're talking about Pepe a lot because of Rudiger. And so for obvious reasons. So I chose 2007-2008. So here is the segment of my book. 2007-2008, Schuster's roller coaster and the resurgence of Raul. Capello's exit was met with an exodus of more former superstars. David Beckham and Roberto Carlos walked away after their contracts ended in the summer of 2007. Ivan Helguera, who had been around hell or high water with the Galacticos, moved on. Cassano was loaned out to Sampdoria and never returned. Emerson, Jonathan Woodgate, and Cicinho were sold. Francisco Pavon, flag bearer of the wrong end of the Zidanes y Pavones philosophy, went to Real Zaragoza. In came the reinforcements, namely the Dutch Revolution. Arjen Robben, one of the best dribblers in the world at the time. Wesley Sneijder, a rising midfield star coming out of Ajax. And Royston Drenthe, who had just won the UEFA Player of the Tournament at the U21 European Championships. The club also signed Pepe from FC Porto, an important player who would go on to become one of the greatest defenders in Real Madrid history, as well as left-back Gabriel Heinze from Manchester United. Heinze helped form a solid back four that season, crystallizing a defensive line alongside Sergio Ramos, Pepe, and Cannavaro. To tie it all together, Real Madrid brought in Bernd Schuster to manage the team. Schuster was an interesting figure. As a player in the 80s, he was one of Barcelona's most important midfielders. In 1988, he decided to go to Real Madrid and joined forces with Quinta del Buitre, a decision fueled by his falling out with the Barcelona board. Schuster was a controversial figure in general. As a midfielder, he was an important goal scorer and ball carrier. Off the field, he ruffled feathers with teammates and the higher-ups. When he joined Real Madrid in 2007 as a manager, he brought with him his polarizing actions, which ultimately led to his downfall. But before his downfall, Schuster helped Real Madrid achieve some beautiful heights in La Liga. The team went their first 8 games unbeaten. Wesley Sneijder and Guti clicked in midfield, forming a creative midfield nucleus which Robinho and Robben fed off of on the wings. Raul had an inexplicable and pleasantly surprising resurgence, where he led the team in scoring with 23 goals. Real Madrid won the Clásico in the Camp Nou 1-0, with Pepe pocketing Samuel Eto'o. They then won the league comfortably and received a guard of honor from Barcelona in the Bernabeu in the return Clásico before trouncing them 4-1. Like all things that are good, they eventually end. Schuster's time at the club ended earlier than expected after winning the league title. In December of 2008, Real Madrid were beginning to spiral. The team had lost 3 of 4 games, including a 3-4 loss at home to Sevilla. After that defeat, stories started to leak in the Spanish press that Real Madrid were looking for Schuster's replacement. Schuster responded publicly in what was his way of leaving with a bang. With the club having an upcoming game against a surging Barcelona led by Pep Guardiola in what was the beginning of a dynasty, Schuster said, quote, "The Barcelona game worries me less than any other because it's impossible to win at the Camp Nou right now. Barcelona are rolling over everyone. It is their year. Given the state we are in, all we can ask for is to go there and put on a decent display," end quote. Schuster's statement was a death sentence. It's not that he was wrong. It's that Real Madrid has values, and one of them is to fight until the end. Admitting premature defeat publicly was humiliating for everyone, not least Raul and Ramos, who publicly opposed Schuster's views. Schuster was sacked before the Clásico. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Daily Drop, and keep it locked on managingmadrid.com as always. And I hope you enjoyed the mailbag that Lucas and I put over on patreon.com/managingmadrid yesterday. We went through a bunch of great questions, transfers, lineups for next season, etc. And Matt and I will be back this Saturday for a tribute on Isco Alarcon. He deserves one. We did one on Marcelo and Bale. Isco's coming up this weekend. Enjoy it, and book your spots to Vegas and San Fran. Links will be in the show notes. Take care. Hala Madrid.